Let's begin today's Vanguard news with the English game finally getting Gaon, or now known as Gaon, as a box topper in DZBT-01. Along with Kyoko's new magazine order as well as Tachi Kazakhstan's new unit, Spino Marcus. As well as sought after reprints of Servant Valkratia Security Upgrader and Mythiarch Habitat. It pains me to say this, but Bushiroad actually did a good job with these box toppers and hope they continue to do this in future sets. Everyone's favorite quintuplets are finally coming to the English game as the EX cards in DZBT-01. My Go fans who are anticipating to bang their dreams with the collab crits will just have to settle making each quintuplet sister fight for their respective nations. Bushiroad is already hyping players in buying DZBT-02 by getting a chance to win a special playmat. Expect now simps to just buy the tournament's entire slot just so they get the playmat themselves. Ironically, Bushiroad chose the most boring character and unit to be the prizes for Vanguard Day. In order to increase sales for their online store and stalls in Anime Expo, Bushiroad is giving one promo pack for every $20 purchase, which will either contain these character effect triggers or certain ride line cards. So unless you have traveling money just to go to a convention, your next best option is the one that makes your parents pissed when they are the ones who accept the delivery and find out you ordered more stuff from online again. BSF isn't even halfway done, and here's Bushiroad promoting this year's BCS with shop challenges and regional qualifiers being held with longer months. Now if they can just put out better restriction list every 3 months, then maybe the meta wouldn't be as stale, as it's the whole reason why they extended the event months in the first place. Here are the English product release schedule until August. Bushiroad is still attempting to sell players the Talc and Ranbu collab despite it being 2 formats late. Expect your local card shops to go out of business as they are forced to get them despite knowing full well that nobody will be buying them. With the first season of Vanguard Divines having ended, Bushiroad is milking the series by releasing a storage box featuring the same bear design Hikari had in one scene. Next thing you know, Bushiroad will be selling Mikoto's glasses. Lyrical Monasteria gets a lot of promo card reprints, but if you're unlucky with tournament promo packs like I am, you have a playset of these stuck in your binder already, since nobody even uses them. Luster Impact Dragon is finally getting reprinted despite Lionorn hype is finally over. But the real winners for reprints are Shenri Roaming Prison Sajess and Uwika. And Bushiroad confirms that each box of DZSS-01 will have at least one RE rarity card. So have fun trying to get at least one of these, like they were never reprinted in the first place. Now we move on to the last cycle cards as well as Dark State and Brand Gate Dual Nation card for the set. Elusive Winged Dragon Fjamja, when placed on rear guard, makes you send up to 1 card from the top of your deck to the drop zone to get to K power if your Vanguard's grade is equal or lower than your opponent's Vanguard. And while on rear guard or the drop zone, you can pay 3 energy and removing itself from the game when your other cards is discarded during your turn to add one of those cards back to your hand. Abilities like this is why I don't use the term discard for milling effects. It confuses players, since the term discarding card games is usually associated to the hand and not the deck. But expect someone to still try do it regardless. Seasang Dragon Elistino, when placed on rear guard, gets to K power if your Vanguard's grade is equal or lower than your opponent's Vanguard. Then you can either soul or energy charge 1 card if you played an order card this turn. And while on rear guard or the drop zone, you can pay 3 energy and removing itself from the game when your other cards is discarded during your turn to add one of those cards back to your hand. Can we just appreciate for a moment that Lyrical Monasteria since last year has been open to dragons that aren't humanoid? From sharing a booster set with others and being open to mythical creatures, the next step in the nation's xenophobia rehabilitation is to have a dual nation card. Speaking of which, Dark Bond of Berserker and Argage is a Dark States and Brand Gate card that when placed on rear guard from hand that isn't on the battle phase, makes you look at the top cards of your deck equal to the number of your set order cards in your order zone +1, then put 1 card from among them into your soul. Then you can pay 1 counterblast if you looked at 2 or more cards with this ability to add either a grade 2 or higher card or a set order from your soul. Avant-garde players may actually want this card considering their strategy cards go into soul. Unfortunately, I can't seem to think of a good way for Dark State players to utilize this outside of using Game of Underworld, which in itself is quite bad. Finally, just when I thought the various controversy in my country's BSF event was the biggest scandal of the week, Bushiroad themselves tops it off by putting out a statement that one of the participants in last year's World Championships was cheating, and yet decides to not issue any more penalties to the player in question. It begs the question of why even bother addressing this when they don't plan on doing anything. It's like they want a repeat of what happened. And that concludes this Vanguard news without the bullshit. Special thanks to my Patreon members for continuing to support my content creation. Be sure to subscribe and let me know in the comments your Bushiroad tournament controversy stories.